Welcome back to Much More Ado About Nothing. I'm Susan.
I'm Ben.
And I'm Francis.
Hi, Francis.
Hey, how are you? How are you, Susan and Ben?
We're good.
We're very good.
So
We're excited. We're excited to be here.
Yeah.
Excited to talk to you.
Yes, well, I'm excited to talk to you too. I used the special Tron introduction.
It was good.
Yeah,
I appreciated it.
It was
We
actually
appreciate it. Yeah.
It wasn't as kick-ass as Tron, but Tron was only cool to look at.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we do appreciate, Disney writing music for us for our show.
Mhm.
But yeah, the movie, I mean, it was fine. It wasn't very interesting, but it had Jeff Daniels, and I love him.
Yeah, and it would have been cool if he would have been his famous character, whose name is this game?
The Big Lebowski?
The dude?
Yes, it would have been cool if
the Big Lebowski.
Well, it was a Jeff Lebowski, I think. Is that his name?
I don't remember. Now that's so.
I thought Lebowski was the other guy.
They're both named Lebowski.
They're
that's
both
why. That's why it's confusing.
I haven't seen that movie for a while, but yes, that's whole premise. That's whole premise.
The Big Lebowski's the other guy. He's the wealthy guy.
Yes.
That the dude gets blamed for everything on.
Yeah. Have you guys ever been to Lebowski Fest?
No, what is that?
It's in Kentucky. It's pretty fun. It's like a 3-day Big Lebowski themed festival, and they have like a bowling tournament, and they have a band play. It's at this it's just little section of Kentucky. It's really fun. Everyone dresses up.
Why is it in Kentucky?
I have no idea.
They
I
just
think
like
there's
the
more
movie.
than one. I think just one of the big ones is in Kentucky, but I
Okay.
think there's other ones around the
See,
country.
that's what a little town should do to get on. Like in an area where you guys live, there's the Popcorn Festival.
Yes.
Popcorn Festival, and then
People come here for that,
we used to have the Wizard of Oz Festival.
which nobody comes for.
Well, they used to.
When I was a kid.
Until all the Munchkins died.
Yeah, when the Munchkins were still alive, people from out of town would come.
Yeah, but now you go and it's like there's nobody that's left.
Yeah, it doesn't really still exist. They had some sort of little, anyway. They had some little convention this year, but I don't know who went.
Did they? Oh yeah. I can't imagine that there's that many. I mean, again, just to kind of go back for a moment, even after it had premiered, The Wizard of Oz was still special for years later because they only showed it one time per year.
Yeah.
I mean, and there was no VCRs or VHS or DVDs or whatever. So you got one chance to watch it. And it's sort of like rite of passage for little kids that get scared shitless watching that movie. And I'm talking little 4 or 5 year olds. Like
That movie is terrifying, straight up.
Those monkeys, the melting.
Yeah, it's scary. I actually don't like most of that movie.
Yeah, no, I can understand that.
Yeah.
My daughter was afraid she was going to turn green.
Oh.
And I think that actually is because of the other Oz movie that James Franco did. I think the girl turns green. But she then translated it into the Wizard of Oz, and that freaked her out. So
yeah,
it's just but anyway, but yeah, now it's like it's just another movie that you can watch anytime.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It doesn't really hold the mystique for people that if I can watch it anytime, there's no mystique to it.
Right.
So,
Well, I'll give you a brief glimpse into my childhood. They used to, have a big Wizard of Oz festival with a parade in it, and they always needed people to sit on floats or hand out candy in the parade. Mm-hmm. So as young children, probably 5 or 6, my parents would dress up my sister and I, and we'd sit on, one of the floats or hand out candy or whatever. But she would always be Dorothy because she looked a little bit, like Dorothy. She had dark hair and whatever. And I would be whatever one of the other characters was. And one year I went as the Tin Man, which means, and this was always in either the end of July or the beginning of August, whatever the hottest weekend of the year was. And they dressed me in gray. What's that material they make long underwear out of?
Like thermal.
Yeah, gray thermos. And they made me a Tin Man hat and stuff. And they made these cardboard things that went over my shoes. But they were too tight, so they cut into my ankles the whole time I was walking in the parade, and I just had blood running down my feet.
Oh my!
In the parade, and it was so hot.
Horror show.
It was pure horror.
Really capturing how scary that movie is, though, in real life.
That's what it's like to watch the movie, is to walk in a hot parade overheated as a child with blood running down your ankles. So yeah, thanks for that, Mom and Dad. But
your mom's
I look really back on this fondly.
If anybody watching the show, it's Ben's mother. That's the thing. That's right. You've now alienated 100%. The one fan we may have.
She's gonna be real mad.
Yeah.
now, Susan, have you ever done anything in a parade?
Yes, I had to be in the Oz parade, but I was usually a Munchkin. My mom would dress him as a Munchkin. I would sit on a float.
That's a misappropriation of.
That might be
because I'm tall. Is that?
Yeah, you're like you're not like. I mean, you're like you're.
I've always been tall, so yes, you're right. I've always.
I'm sure you looked Munchkin size when you were like 5.
Well, even when I was 5, I was tall for a 5-year-old.
Sure.
So
that's why you'd be a good Munchkin, because people are like, that's not a little kid.
No, that's a full adult.
That's a full Munchkin adult.
So yeah, I do that, and then I was in marching band, so I have done a ton of parades. We used to do on the 4th of July when I was in high school. We would do parades in Chicago and then come back and do parades here. So like it was all day.
Would you take fireworks and guns to Illinois when you were?
Yeah, we traffic stuff across in our instruments. You can put a lot of stuff in a tuba.
Yeah, exactly. Why waste the effort?
Yeah. So I've done a lot of parades. Yes.
Have you ever walked in a parade, Francis?
You know what? I have. When I was a kid in my community, all the baseball teams, I would play baseball throughout the time I was like 18. And up to about the age of 12, you would do the parade, and I always had the baseball team. But one year, my claim to character fame, I want to let you know, this is where I get my acting chops. My father would play McGruff.
The Crime Dog?
The Crime Dog.
Oh my God.
And one time I had to fill in for McGruff at the local town parade. So my dad was actually a legitimate McGruff. He was a licensed McGruff. He would go throughout like the tri-state area and play McGruff with railroad safety.
So a couple of questions. How do you become a licensed McGruff?
Yes.
I think you have to know people. A little money has to change hands.
Oh, okay. That seems counter to the whole idea of that guy, but I like it.
Well,
Probably someone's not taking a bite out of crime, but feeding it.
Yeah.
I really have no idea, but he had the actual costume. It wasn't just like hey, this guy kind of looking to make him. He had like the big head, had a little fan in the snoot to keep you cool. Had the little and again, let's remember, McGruff wore a raincoat like he's a flasher. I want to recall that.
It was like a big
right? That was my costume.
So you were McGruff understudy.
I was McGruff understudy. You are correct. I was. If all other McGruffs were unavailable, they called in me. So
that's incredible.
I sat in a convertible and I threw out candy to people as McGruff the Crime Dog. Thank goodness no crimes occurred while I had the McGruff mantle, because I probably would not have been able to resolve them.
Yeah, and you're like legally obligated to if you're wearing that costume. It's like, McGruff, there's been a murder. And you're like, oh God.
I could be like, oh, well, the local police be like, we're going to have to defer to McGruff here.
Yeah, this is outside of our jurisdiction.
What should we do next?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Give him a lollipop?
At first, what we need to do is give coloring books to the kids.
Yeah.
McGruff the Crime Dog. Take a bite out of crime. And that's the thing. I had my McGruff voice ready to go, but you couldn't hear it through the mask.
Right.
All that extra work. But one of the funny things is McGruff does have a people don't identify McGruff. They kind of say, oh, I know that guy. But I don't know if a lot of people know who he is. I got a lot of people shouting out things like, oh, look, there's McDuff the Crime Dog.
McDuff.
Yeah, like it's the Shakespearean McDuff. Porto.
Right.
But that is the interesting thing about when you play McGruff. I was surprised there is no training. There is no training to be McGruff. Like they don't teach
Now-
you how to solve a crime.
Would that be police training or dog training?
Neither. You would think, especially with me, like they should teach me how to go to the bathroom.
Oh yeah, 100% those costumes.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Are you allowed to take the costume off to the bathroom? Or do you have to go to the bathroom in character as a dog?
You have to go to the bathroom in character as a dog.
Ugh.
You just find a hydrant along the parade route.
Yeah, exactly. And you have to do a lot. The thing is, I would stop the parade every like 20 seconds to smell something.
Yeah.
And they're like,
That's great.
so yeah, that's my claim to fame. Though that was not my best acting role. My best acting role was in the 4th grade. I went to a Catholic school. I played Jesus.
Whoa, the
Wow,
big role.
big time.
Yeah, I mean, where do you go from there? You've just played the best character. I mean, the best part. Where do you go from there? Charlton Heston. No, who played Jesus? No, Laurence Olivier played Jesus. I mean, when you're up there with the greats, playing the greatest characters. I mean, every character since then has been a disappointment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So did you play Jesus before or after McGruff the Crime Dog?
Oh, before, that's the problem. Yeah.
Oh, so then it was just kind of a slow descent downhill.
Yeah, exactly. Now I'm playing Third Tree on the Left and improv.
Yeah.
So what was it, a custom show, or was this like Jesus Christ Superstar the musical?
Oh no, this was 4th grade. We were just reenacting. I went to a Catholic school, so we would reenact, famous situations with Jesus. I think it's when Jesus told Mary and Joseph he was leaving with these 12 dudes. I think we were improvising that scene.
Okay.
We're like, hey, Mom, Dad, I'm out of here, man.
Yeah.
That's your Jesus? I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I'm taking off with these 12 dudes.
I'm gonna hang out with these 12 dudes, right? All right.
We're gonna live together.
Before I leave, could you pass me a few drachma? You know what I'm saying, Mom? Dad?
We only eat on one side of the table.
Just saying.
We're all gonna
Yo,
live.
I'm out of here, Momsy.
Yeah.
I'm out. I don't
like this attitude you've given Jesus.
Right,
I feel like I've never seen this interpretation of the character
strong point
before.
of view.
Well, I think that the problem is with Jesus in the situation, he's always got high status.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, if I'm playing him high status, I mean, he's got to come in as like,
Yeah. Hey.
Hey, I wouldn't do that if I was you.
That'd be a great like sticker or something, just a Jesus being like, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do that if I was you.
Yeah.
Plus, I mean, he's Italian, right? No, he's not, but he's,
No,
I think
he's not.
He
But
could be. I mean, you're playing him. He's your
I'm
character.
playing him like he's like Italian.
Yeah.
Hey, no.
Or like not really Italian, like Italian American.
right, like Jersey. You're playing him Jersey.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, it's an interpretation. Oh, hey, Mom, what? Come on, Pop.
I think that's just
I'm playing him
Sopranos.
like he's in the Bowery Boys.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's all right. Well, Susan, do you have a news story for us? I'm going to move us right
A
along.
very natural transition. This has absolutely nothing to do with Jesus or fighting crime.
Skip it.
But the CDC just released a pretty viral GIF. It's become very viral about not going to the pool and you have diarrhea. And it's they're just all these warnings about how it can spread. And I just feel like this goes really well with, if you've seen the story about the Ultimate Slip and Slide show and how it all got shut down because a bunch of people on it got some sort of parasite or something where they all got sick. Did you guys hear about the Ultimate Slip and Slide show?
Unfortunately, I did hear
Yeah, they all
about
got
that.
shut down. NBC.
I'm gonna start crying.
So yeah. You went from playing Jesus to talking about poop on the internet. That's your career
That was
trajectory.
very quickly, too.
Yeah.
But yeah, they just shut the show down because what was it?
Because of the shit. They shut the show down because of the shit.
Yeah. But so I feel like if the CDC had released this information earlier, maybe this whole show shutdown could have been avoided.
Yeah, come on, CDC. Doing these days?
I'll be honest with you. First of all, I think we may have covered this in another episode. I don't know anymore. I don't like wearing bathing suits because I don't like people.
We haven't covered this.
Okay. I'm just saying I don't like to wear bathing suits. But I also, even if I had a bodysuit on, I don't like going to water parks. I don't know. There's just something about it that to me, I am not surprised people are getting parasites and diarrhea.
Okay? They do recycle a lot of that water, right? In a water park. I mean,
and water parks are a little bit gross.
Okay, it's also in my top 10 pet peeves of things I don't like to see. People's gnarly toes. I have ugly feet. Okay, I don't wear sandals. I keep my toes hidden. There's only one person that really has seen my toes, and I'm married to her. Okay, that is it.
I would love it if you're like, there's only one person who's seen my toes, and it's my doctor. I won't even let my wife see my toes. I wear shower shoes all the time.
Yeah, exactly. It's they don't. Yeah. No, and so that's why I don't do water parks, man.
Mm-hmm. I go to water parks sometimes, but I always am on the lookout because there's always a stray Band-Aid that just floats by.
Oh yeah, that's gross.
That is gross.
It's about like in the lazy river.
Anywhere in a water park, the wave pool, like probably the slide has random Band-Aids all over it. You just don't see. It's how they hold them together.
Guys, I love a water park. The only thing I don't love is there was one growing up near us that had those very tall slides that would just go straight down, and they never put enough water down it, so your back would get all scratched up and red every time you went down it, and that was not great.
Which means now you're swimming with pieces of other people's skin.
Oh God,
blood.
But I do enjoy a lazy river or a wave pool, or even like the little water cannons where you get to shoot your nieces or whatever. We have a good time.
They must pump water parks full of chlorine though, because if not, people would be getting sick.
They would get sick constantly.
Now, yeah. It's like, let's do 8 things you would find at a water park. Band-Aids.
Yeah, stray Band-Aids.
They're all 8.
Giardia in the water if you have a microscope.
Diapers. I mean, I bet you if they play 50 state bingo with 50 items you find at the water park at the end of the day, diapers got to be up there. That's diapers. Like easy. That's like a
diapers and Band-Aids for sure are always on the list.
Also curly fries.
In the pool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Random curly fries.
Exactly. Even if they don't serve them.
Right.
People just have them in their pockets.
Where are people getting them?
Yeah. Yeah. Like unknown food item. I think that was a McMuffin.
Yeah.
So you got that, and then you probably have obviously like the one earring.
Yeah,
sure.
Someone's wedding ring.
Yeah,
a child's sandal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, or that what are those water shoes? And again, I know people can say wear water shoes. I won't have to see people's feet. You know what? I just don't know. You can't make people wear water shoes. If I could, then maybe I'd consider going to a water park. But anyway, water shoe. Yeah.
So do you not like wearing swimsuits because they're uncomfortable, or just because you don't like going to those places?
I don't like people seeing that much of my skin uncovered. Even when I wear a shirt over top. I just don't. It's just I don't. I would. I just don't. It doesn't make me feel. I just don't like it. I don't.
Fair
it makes me cry. It makes. I'm like this weird dude. I'm like a dude who's trapped in a woman's body. I'm not like transing or anything like that. Nothing against anything like that. I'm just saying that I have certain characteristics that are maybe more body conscious than most men. Because if you go to I don't think a lot of dudes really look in the mirror. There's some that do, and they obviously do it a lot. But there's some, that like, whoa, dude, wow. I'm really impressed that you would go out with it. Me, I can't. I can't. And then I always look at those dudes that are like really buff going, fuck, if I just worked harder, did something. I don't even work, do something. Maybe I could, maybe, but no.
Francis, I think you look great.
Well, thank you. Thank you. But you obviously see, even when I wear this, I still have a shirt underneath. You know, I can't, I like to be clothed. I like clothing.
Like lots of layers.
I do. I do.
Lots of-
I will not, like, I don't care how hot I get, I will not take this shirt off and like wear, unless I'm like right before bed and everybody
Mhm.
has their, everybody else is asleep.
Everyone else has their like night mask on that's fully blacking out the light.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So there you go. So water parks dangerous. That's what we learned today.
I think they're just kind of gross.
Yeah. Now, what do you do when you and Susan go to water parks? Because Ben likes to go. What do? Susan, do you go? Does he go with other friends?
I'll go sometimes. I mean, we don't go that often.
Yeah, it's not
Usually if
something we
we're
do a
going,
lot.
it's because we're on vacation with my family and like my nieces want to go.
Right.
But the first step to me going outside in the sun at all is to spend 40 minutes fully sunscreening all of my skin, including like the part in my hair.
We will be late because
Takes me, I gotta put sunscreen on.
What sunscreen level do you use?
Usually around 50.
Okay. Do you use the combination water sun so you can go in the water? Or
Yeah, it's waterproof. And then sometimes I'll still wear a sun shirt with long sleeves. I wear a big hat. I don't really go on water slides.
I assume you burn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't if I take all the necessary precautions.
Right, but if you don't, you'll burn.
Right. Yeah.
Now, Ben, what about you? Do you burn? Do you wear as much sun protection, or you don't even care?
I mean, I do put on sunscreen. As a child, I was negligent in that, and I would burn, and I would get so burnt up. It was awful. I got terrible sunburns, but I don't tan, unfortunately. Susan and I both have that skin where you burn and then you just go back to being white, and so then I just burn again. So it is necessary to put on sunscreen. Plus, it's just good for you. Put on sunscreen, everybody.
See, I'm like I just hate doing extra effort on anything that I then have to wash off. You know, I'm just lazy. So
that's fair.
Yeah,
I mean, you know what the best part of going to on a vacation or something is that indoor water parks.
Yeah, those are better. I mean, they're still a little gross, but I don't have to put on as much sunscreen.
Yeah, that saves us like 40 minutes.
40 minutes there, and then 40 minutes when you get back after you have to wash.
Right.
Not that you don't wash after. I mean, again, I recommend people wash thoroughly after going to a water park.
Yeah.
But I just think
this is some hygiene hour.
Yeah, this is the hygiene hour.
Personal hygiene.
Wash those areas. Hard to reach.
Well, I have Francis, do you have a story? Okay, I have a quick one. So a Canadian woman lost her wedding ring 13 years ago, but then she found it when it was wrapped around a carrot in her garden.
This happens a lot. I feel like I read the story like once a year.
Is that right?
Yeah, people I think they lose their wedding rings when they're gardening.
Yeah.
And then they're just like, well, it's gone.
Right.
And then they find it on some vegetable.
Years later, a vegetable will grow around it, and then they'll pluck out the vegetable, and boom, there's your wedding ring.
Huh. That is really wild. I've never heard that type of story before. I mean, anything like the carrot maybe having any sort of criminal past, or anything
I don't think
like can we blame this on, is this a crime maybe than just a lost item? I mean, do we
know who could solve the crime for us?
McGruff,
yeah, the crime dog.
Take a bite out of crime. Right.
He crunches.
You can tell that this is, I mean, I'm hoping the resolution is that this is just like a foam thing. It's not really a cigar.
We know.
Okay.
It's okay.
Well, I was hoping you'd be like, I can't really tell. But, now, in that situation, when you find do you say do you have to cover for yourself? Oh, that's where I put it. Or do you just go, do you try to blame it on the dog or something else? I mean, what do you do in that situation?
I mean, as someone who has lost his wedding ring but found it, I think you have to take credit, take the blame. Now, I try not to take off my wedding ring very often because I don't want to lose it again. But at the same time, if I were to garden, which I'm a terrible, awful gardener, I'm the world's worst gardener. I would probably be thankful to the carrot for finding it for me.
Even though the carrot's probably the one who stole it in the first place.
Probably.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of those you know, maybe it's a little payback. Now, how long did you lose your wedding ring? Like what happened?
Oh, just like a day.
Where was it?
I think it was like in the couch.
Oh,
No, that's where mine was.
Oh, that's
when
where
I
your
lost it.
was.
I found mine in the couch.
See,
We're not great with rings, guys.
Isn't it like worse when a woman loses her wedding? I mean, this is a double standard. Double standard
Yeah.
alert. Like it is worse like when a woman loses a ring than a guy. I just feel like, oh, obviously she doesn't care about Ben because she lost her wedding ring. And
I'll say it was worse for her.
She's like, hey, that happens. You're a dude.
Yeah.
It was worse for us just because her wedding ring just
It's more expensive.
much more expensive than mine.
Oh, sure. Like men's are usually made out of like, I don't know, rubber bands and.
I just made it out of whatever I found in the house at the time. No, just
Sure.
kidding.
Oh, sure. No,
Ben's is cool. Ben's is made out of meteorite.
Yeah. Tungsten and meteorite.
Like a
Wow.
spaceship.
You know, that is really geeky, Ben. That is really up there with geek.
Yeah, that was cool.
No, I just mean like from a, you know, Susan doesn't really care that she lost her wedding ring.
I just throw that thing around, no
Yeah,
problem.
like, she's very unreliable. Maybe Ben should think about, you know, like how, you know, that's the thing. It's like the double standard. I am definitely a double standard. I grew up with a double standard. I believe in the double standard. I think
You're a subscriber to the double standard.
Absolutely, I am. I think it's existed for as long as I know, and I mean, it works perfectly well.
Been working the last 250 years,
At
or however
least.
long.
At least,
Yeah.
I mean, no, I think the double standard is a good thing, and if more people subscribe to the double standard, we would be in a better place.
Hot takes. Hot takes that will get us angry emails.
Hot takes from the man who played roles such as Jesus Christ,
Yeah.
McGruff the Crime Dog.
Yes, exactly, and other yeah, and a priest. I played a priest.
And you played a priest?
Yeah, I did. I played a priest. Yeah, and
Good
and
priest
a gay
or bad
priest.
priest?
In another show, I was a gay priest.
Was it was it Doubt the play?
No, it was like a one act written by somebody that they did it in a one act show, and I had all the lines, and there was a girl that played a nun behind me who went on to become a rockette, by the way, an actual New York.
No, that's
Wow.
cool. That's impressive.
Yes. But here I am doing this show, feeling very uncomfortable. Because I'm not gay and I'm playing a gay actor. Even this is this is like 25 years ago or 20 years ago, way before the whole situation with, you know, like you shouldn't be playing that character. Because I was like, I don't know if I understand his motivations, because the character had all these monologues, and that's the other thing, had a shitload of lines, and
we know how much you love lines.
yeah, and it was like, and everything queued off. It was only me and the rockette, and she just, all she would do back there was like say like one sentence, and then I had to go into the next monologues. Oh my God, I was so confused sometimes. But yeah, it's always like that. It's for me, with when I have a lot of lines, it takes me a good like 20 shows. No, I wouldn't admit. Good 10 shows, really, like 10 shows before I even know what I'm doing. It just does. I need that sort of like, I need a lot of pre-show work. I don't even know where we're going here.
Yeah, that's all right. Francis,
We're going somewhere.
so you don't have a story for right now?
I don't. Well, you know what? I think I do have a short one. I do. And then we
Okay,
can
let's
wrap
do a
it up.
short one.
It's basically that Elizabeth Hurley story where she was married to a financial advisor and he died. And her son from that financial advisor was set to inherit $250 million. But somehow someone challenged the will, or there was a will change, and now Elizabeth Hurley's son from the deceased financial advisor gets nothing. He goes from $250 million to zero. Now, I'm sure Elizabeth Hurley has cash, but still,
Yeah.
if I was like $250 million inheritance,
Yeah, and for him to get nothing, like, where'd all that money go?
Yeah, where did it go?
It went to his other family, like
Yeah,
kids
but,
he get
like-
from other, they fought the will, or there was some other will they pulled out, and said he doesn't get anything. So yeah, they're sort of like, oh, where did this other will come from? Not other Will Smith or anything, or other Will.
Will Smith came in and screwed it all up.
Probably, he probably did. He probably did some bad movie, where he was, probably did it because it was with his son.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
That's
For
his
sure.
worst movies are when he's like, "Hey, Jaden, do you want to do something with your dad?
Yeah.
Catch ball, make a movie? What do you think?" You know,
Well, Francis, maybe, because I hear this all the time, or at least I see it in movies, where people will be like, at the last minute, somebody changed their will and just wrote it on a napkin.
Yeah.
Is that legally binding?
It all depends on what state that happens.
Mm.
Each state will differ, and again, this is not legal advice. I don't really know. I don't do this area of law, but again, thank you for welcoming me to legal.
Yeah.
Class.
Welcome to the legal corner.
Every episode was thrown a little bit of legal advice. Maybe follow it,
But
maybe
not actual
don't.
legal advice.
I would
Do
check,
not follow it.
I would say retain a lawyer in your jurisdiction, but generally speaking, I think you can. I think you can have a will change that way. I mean, you would. It probably has to at least be witnessed.
Okay.
Whether the signature has to be notarized, maybe something with the jurisdiction as well. But you could probably alter your. See, the problem is, let's say it's badly made. So you have a will that's formal, and then you change it with some handwritten scribble, and you don't, in that handwritten scribble, say, "I am also getting rid of my old will." So it's sort of like, will a court then say, okay, here's the old will, and here's the new will. He never rescinded the first will, so we kind of got to smash these together.
Oh.
And that might be a way to do it. Again, this is why you want to avoid the court system, because you don't want some individual judge, jury, group of individuals making a decision for you.
Yeah.
Because that's where it all goes wonky. And so, like in that Elizabeth Hurley situation, the children of the financial advisor from before his marriage with Elizabeth Hurley were able to come in and say, "Hey, this other will is good." I think this is what happened. This other will's good. So, and the judge was like, new will, old will. I'm going to go with the new will. And then you just have somebody make a decision for you. And in this case, it was good for the kids. I mean, they got their money's worth from the lawyer, paid half a Bill Cosby. Maybe. By the way, just again, legal corner, his legal bills, Bill Cosby, to get to the point where he has now been not exonerated, but released from jail, was like $10 million. Money well spent. Now, one last question we should go. If you're Bill Cosby and you've had all this situation, even though they can't come after you for crimes on those charges, that the Supreme Court in Pennsylvania said those charges are done. They can't retry them.
Mm-hmm.
I would still move out of the country. I'd be like, I am done.
Oh.
Yeah.
I would be, done. I'd be like, you know what?
Can they still file civil suits against him?
They can still file a civil suit. And again, I don't think he ever was going to try to avoid that.
Right.
Maybe he was. I don't know. Maybe he had something up. But to admit all that in a deposition and not assume there was going to be a civil suit is kind of stupid as well. But I would leave him here. I would leave.
Can the court seize his passport so he doesn't do that?
Not if he's not.
I'm not sure if that's not legal, right?
They can do that, but there's no reason that they can right now.
I think they have to have a reason, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Now, again, if that case had been, if the court had said, oh, but they can retry it, but they went out of their way to say this thing is done. And again, I didn't read the decision. I just know that from reading other people's readings of the decision, the Supreme Court said this case is done. You can't retry it. So,
but they can appeal that at the district court?
No, that was the Pennsylvania Supreme Court. Their
Oh.
only choice now is to file it in if there's some sort of federal issue to the Supreme Court of the United States. But
Federal.
since it's a state issue, I highly doubt there's
That would happen.
anything the federal Supreme Court can do on this issue. It's I think the Pennsylvania Supreme Court is going to have the last say on this, on what happened, because it's a factual issue underneath, and they determined that there was indeed this contract with the first prosecutor. So I don't think there's any federal issue, but that would be their only recourse if there was any sort of federal constitutional issue that was involved. I mean, I know somebody could listen to this and say, oh, well, there's this, what about this? Like, yeah, I'm talking about real federal court issue. Supreme Court's not going to touch something where a state Supreme Court is dealing with a state situation. Really, really would have to be a unique issue. Again, strange things happen. As I remember in law school, my law school professor in constitutional law said, the only thing you need to be constitutionally correct or to win, you got to get 5 people on your side. You can lose 4, but you got to get 5. That's it. That's the difference. That's it. So, so that's Legal Corner for you.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, thanks everyone for joining us today. I like finishing up with the Legal Corner. A little bit of not legal advice for you.
Yes.
Don't go try to commit a crime and then admit it to the prosecutor. Don't do whatever I was talking about.
Don't do anything that Bill Cosby has done.
Don't do anything that Bill Cosby has done.
Right. Don't do
anything. Don't even come up with the Fat Albert kids. Don't do that.
Don't do
that is wrong.
That's right.
Wrong.
Just don't do anything he did.
And leave Felicia Rashad alone.
Don't eat that much Jell-O.
Yeah, don't eat Jell-O, pudding pops, whatever.
All right, guys. Well, this has been fun. I'm Ben.
Susan.
And I'm Francis on the theremin.
See you next time.